Ladies and gentlemen, YouTubers around the world, welcome back to a casted game of FFA. I'm your host, Nasty888, and today we are looking at a game, an FFA game with Golden Horde. And the reason we're casting this game is for two reasons. One is I played this game off stream and I was doing a local recording and I forgot to mute my, desktop audio, so we had music playing. And the other reason is I think it's a perfect example of how overpowered Golden Horde is, what you can do, even in a situation where you don't get any relics at all whatsoever. I'm not going to be able to secure any relics this game at all. Now, one of the most important things you need to do with Golden Horde is to secure a lot of gold and food so that you can get Imperial Age, right? That is the goal here. Let's take a look at our map. We're on the one of the new maps in FFA, which sadly, I hate to say it, but they're just not very good maps. They, at first I was a little worried about the amount of wood that spawns on them. That does seem to be an issue. There's not as much wood. You can see here there are little patches of wood throughout the map, but they're very small and few and far between. So these maps are just very unfortunate in that regard. They also don't have any randomness, which we love to see with the mega random. They're pretty much always the same. Like, you'll always see these two pawns here. You're always going to see a couple of boars here, pretty much. Sometimes there's variations, I think, but for the most part it's pretty much the same. The map's just very symmetrical, and it doesn't really vary too much. Now, we built an OVA right away. We are going to be getting a little bit into wood here because we do want to make sure that we keep these OVAs up going right away, especially in a game where we're not guaranteed any relics. We are building in the corner of the map, and we are aware that the relics are going to be more towards the center of the map in most games. In fact, we don't have any on our corner. There is one here that's close to us, but I don't know if we've scouted. We have scouted that one, okay. So we'll see about that one. But in this lobby, we have one other Golden Horde player, so that's really all we have to worry about in terms of late game. We just, when you decide to play Golden Horde, you're going to be very vulnerable until you get to the end game, because it's really all about getting Imperial Age. That's the main thing. You're always going to want to age up, of course, with the Con Torgids. That'll help later on. It won't help too much now, but it will definitely help us later on. This other, age up is not going to be very useful. Obviously, if you're not doing this strat, if they ever nerf it, there's no other options here. That could be very helpful if you wanted to get aggressive early on. So we do have a con here. I was a little worried that my gold was exposed. I didn't have quite enough gold to throw down a tower yet. In fact, you need a little bit more gold, or wood rather, to build those towers with this particular civ, including some stone as well. So yeah, it's a little bit more annoying to get the outpost out, even though it is a little bit stronger. This guy could have definitely caused a lot of grief, caused a lot of problems for me here, but he just didn't do that, so it worked out perfectly. Now, what I've decided to do this game is I've scouted both these deer packs up here, and instead of building more gurs to harvest those, I've decided I'm gonna just get a quick professional scouts. I'm not gonna build the stables or anything. I only have one scout. I'm gonna bring him home soon. And since these deer packs are so close to me, I'm just gonna be utilizing this single scout to start pulling deer back towards my town center. Now, as for H3 age ups, you obviously want to get this. Typically, if you're gonna be able to secure some OVAs, which I'm gonna do this game because I'm assuming that I will be able to get some of the relics. However, if you know for sure you're not gonna get any, you can see here, heavy infantry and heavy cavalry, larger shields, increase the range armor by +2. So this could be a viable option. In place of those, you can actually pick and choose here, I believe. Would also regenerate the rate of 200 per minute, but it's reduced by 2 wood for each unit equipped with the roof shield. Interesting. I'm not sure exactly how that works. I guess maybe it's a toggle on, toggle off on the cavalry, if you can turn that on or off. And then if you have them toggled off, you'll be able to generate all that wood that you want. And this could be helpful on a map like this, where we're obviously limited by our wood. It's, we're having to harvest all the way over here. It's kind of sketchy. So far, we don't see too much going on here. Looks like a lot of these other players are going to be aging up quickly. They also want relics. We see here Pink is almost age 3. Guessing that someone else is going to be aging up as well, potentially, very quickly. We do have Redness Cathedral by Purple here. He's going to be the first one, along with Pink, to age 3. I am obviously falling behind that benchmark because I can't, speed out my age up. I can only go as fast as the Golden 10 allows, which is actually pretty slow. One of the downsides of Golden Horde is their age up time, it seems. It's very slow. So, we're going to be a little bit behind that. I'm also needing to throw down Ovo. My second Ovo's up now. I could actually have 3, but I do need to prioritize now my prayer chant when I hit age 3, but you can see I don't quite have enough wood yet. We're a little bit behind. We actually, because we only went with 1 scout here on the deer, we're starting to see that our vills are not being able to harvest. There's too many vills here, 24 vills for all these deer and sheep that I have left. There's not enough space for them to all to harvest here. So we're gonna have to start looking for other places to do that. Finally throwing down our prayer tent a little bit late. As we're gonna see on the map, there's already people scouting, players taking relics, and unfortunately we're gonna be a little bit too late. Now, we moved up here, we've realized there's some shoreline fish here that we can start harvesting, as well as these deer packs, but these are coming slow with the single scout, so we're gonna have to move a bunch of these vills up here to start throwing down a gur and harvest these sheep to get us to, or these fish to get us to age 4, right? So we're getting there, we're getting close. We don't want to do any economic upgrades until we get Imperial. As soon as we throw down, start researching the Imperial, we can start throwing down eco upgrades. It's just important that you prioritize getting Imperial out as soon as possible. The reason being is that not only is your way to win the game, it's the way to defend yourself. You're going to want to make sure that you can get to Imperial as soon as possible. You can see right now at about 14 minutes, we're going to be able to age up here. Even while doing something suboptimally, you see some of my workers are idle here. They've run out of food for now. I'm moving them over to wood though now because we aren't going to need as much food as we did to age up. Players are already fighting over the relics, and you can see we've already lost every single one. There was not a single relic left for me to take. I realized there were too many units up here fighting over these relics. I guess I could have snuck in right here. I didn't really see this though because I don't have a scout here. My single scout is busy harvesting those deer, bringing them back to base for me. So, but now you can see there's just too much defense here. We're gonna start pumping out stuff. Now I've saved up enough stone over the course of this game. You can see here we have about 1,200 stone, and we spent our first stone on the stables reinforcement. This is going to allow us to increase the number of tour goods we produce by 1 up to 3. Probably the most important upgrade for them, I would say. These other ones are good too, but we can't afford them, right? If we could afford them now, but then we'd be spending all of our stone, we wouldn't be able to pump out any units right away, which we want to make sure that we do. And you can see now we're starting to pump the eco upgrades. Prioritizing, of course, this OVO offering. This is going to be key, especially since I don't have any relics. I'm going to want as much stone as possible with the 4 OVOs that I'm about to have. Now, I don't think we even made our 4th OVO yet. Yeah, we've forgotten to do that, so that'll come in later, but it's very important we get that out. And we're just going to start pumping these tour goods out. We've got the blacksmith. This upgrade here, obviously this one's really good. It's going to increase the speed by a lot. These come out at, you see the 8 seconds, it's going to bring it down to 6 seconds. However, it costs so much stone in this case, I don't think we want to prioritize this upgrade. We want to just pump out as many units as we can with the stone that we have and not worry about it. We can still pump out our units pretty quickly without it. And even though we're not going to have Keshik Lifesteal or our special ranged armor upgrade here, we're not going to be able to afford either of these. We're going to be able to start pumping out units 3 every 8 seconds, so it's like 1 every like what, 2.5 or 2.6 seconds. It's insane, guys. You can see here we already are attacking this player who is, now these players obviously aren't the best. This player is only age 2. You can see here this player might be not as experienced of a player. He's a Mongol player, and we're already at 19 minutes. He hasn't done much, right? So you can see the players in this lobby, maybe not the best players for this example of a game. However, I think it's still valid to showcase how powerful and ridiculous this really is. Because realistically, any player here, we could have just run him over like that. Maybe not if they had like an L's back or something. If that was the Civ up there, we probably wouldn't have gone for them in that case though. Just yet. We already have 21 plus. We have 30 elite tour goods at 20 minutes. We're just pumping them out. And like I said, don't worry about this upgrade in this case. We don't have enough stone. If we do get extra stone, we can probably get the Keshik over this one. These are both good, but this one just costs a lot more stone. So we're not going to worry about it for now until we can, get enough stone stacked up. But realistically, once you're pumping these units out constantly, your stone is just going to be spent because we don't have any extra stone. Maybe we want to make sure we prioritize those. Like I mentioned, we already got maxed out on our OVO stone, and we've gotten our 4th OVO, so we've got 4 now. You can see I already have 54. It's insane the amount of units. 54 here plus 60 at like less than 22 minutes. We've got 60 of these elite heavy cavalries, right? This is insane. This player here is also H2. Obviously not a great example of a good player in FFA, but luckily for me in this game, both of my neighbors were, subpar. But it wouldn't have mattered, right? Like even if both these players were playing properly, if they were in Imperial, just hitting Imperial now, or whatsoever, maybe on castle with a large army, this army still would have just dominated them. It would have just steamrolled them, right? Like having this much cavalry this early in the game is unheard of. It's overpowered. It needs to be fixed. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's just unbelievable that this is allowed to exist. So what I've decided to do, what I've been thinking about doing now is I'm gonna play the problem with FFA right now is that if I don't pick Golden Horde, someone else probably will, and they'll do the strategy on me, which I found a lot of the case, which kind of sucks because it means that it's like pick this Civ or risk losing the game. What I think I'm going to be doing probably is if I get these crappy new maps, the nomadic maps, then I'll just pick Golden Horde and try to end the game quickly like this. And if I get a mega random map, a map that's actually fun and enjoyable, then I'll probably pick a different Civ so I can have a fun and interesting, engaging game, right? Since Relic has decided that they're not going to balance fix this right away, it seems, which is surprising. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing, I think. But anyways, guys, there you go. 24-minute game. No relics at all whatsoever. I even got the wrong age up for age 3, considering that I got no relics. I did something suboptimally. You could do a little bit better than this, I'm sure. You could probably focus entirely on the age up rather than prioritizing the OVOs. I think it was right to prioritize the OVOs in this case. But maybe you don't want to prioritize them. Maybe get no wood until age 3 just to make sure that you can pump out those prelates right away to secure yourself some relics, and then you could switch into make sure you get OVOs after that. If you do, or maybe if you do get a lot of the relics, then you just completely skip the wood entirely and you can go straight into Imperial and just use those relic OVOs to start things off to get your stone going, get your stone pumping. Make sure you get that age 1 OVO, that one obviously before you even build your town center. That one's always key. But other than that, that just shows the power of it. It's just insane, right? Like, let's take a look at the charts here. Look at this military count. See, my military count just goes through the roof. We're up to 100 military count by the end of the game, and it's only, and we reached that at like the 23 maybe minute mark here. 100 military, guys. We probably could have done even better if we'd held the button down. It's sometimes, it's hard to press the button all the time because the units come out so fast that you forget for a few seconds, and then you can see here like we didn't really produce much. We were a little bit slow, or maybe we lost a few units. But either way, guys, it's just insane how powerful of an army you can just break out here. It's completely unbalanced, and I really hope that they're going to fix this and patch this out soon so that FFA can return to how it was before the latest patch, but just with new civs, right? That's what we really wanted. That's all we wanted, really, right? For this update, but we didn't get it. Unfortunately, it's kind of broken right now. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.